on the Google Classroom, you guys have the review study materials for pretty much everything that you need for the final exam. You see chapter study materials. All right. So again, I've also uploaded everything that you need, such as the accounting model for you to help you journalize. Okay. You have your review sheets. Again, last time we went over this, we went over the first 11 chapters. So again, everything is here, and I've also updated it with the extra information for the depreciation. Okay, so everything is here is going to be on the exam. And here you go. Here's the extra piece of information. So again, for payroll, here it is. You got pretty much everything that you have here, and exactly how to process the payroll period, or how to do the taxes and whatnot, right? You have the numbers or percentages right here. If you're doing FICA, you have the percentages here. If you're doing workers' comp or calculating FUTA and SUTA, you know what to use, 6 and 3, and workers' comp is 1.36. So you have pretty much everything, and I will provide the circular e-table for you. So you will have that piece of information, okay? And as far as closing process, you need to be able to understand how to complete the trial balance, which we've done numerous times in the coffee cafe. You also have a little guideline here to debit all of your revenues to your income summary, credit all of your expenses to the income summary. Then you're going to close your income summary out to equity. So it's a little few things here. Here is just a little guideline on how to successfully build each financial statement. So you will have to build the income statement. So here, make sure you have all of your sales, minus out your cost of goods sold, minus out your operating expenses, add any extra income to get either a net profit or a net loss. Remember, if it's a positive number, you have a net profit. If you have a negative number, you have a net loss. Then, again, step 2 is going to be completing the statement of equity, which you will be tested on. So in this case, you will need to know your beginning balance in your equity account, and you will need to either add back your add the income summary, subtract any withdrawals to get a new ending balance in your statement of equity, okay? And then lastly, the balance sheet. Again, this is testing if all of your assets is equal to your liabilities plus your equity. So again, the equity comes from this right here. And for your assets, it's going to include everything, including the accumulated depreciation, if you have it, okay? Any bad debt, any example like that, it's going to be included into your assets, okay? So make sure that your total assets is equal to your liabilities plus your equity. Again, statement of cash flows, I will not test you on there, okay? I will test you on also your knowledge on which adjustments are, which entries are considered adjustments. So make sure that you know that depreciation, periodic, supplies expense, bad debt, they're all going to be some form of a adjustment, okay? So if you guys have also checked out what I actually recently posted up last night, so I went ahead and posted up your final exam materials. Now let's go over it, okay? And guess what? I was even nice enough to tell you what is exactly on the exam. So question number 2, your first one is going to be a straight line problem. All right. Question number 3 is going to be a double declining. See, look how nice I am for you guys here. Okay, I've also have your general journal here, so you could do your minor notes, whatever you want to do. Number 14 is going to be another depreciation, except it's units of production. So here, make sure you know how to do that. Number 16 is going to be your bank reconciliation. Okay. Number 18 is going to be your calculating your person's taxes, income taxes. So here I provided the table for you. All right. So you know the person that you're going to be looking at is going to be single. All right. And of course, with a limited amount of numbers, you could automatically know that you're either going to have either row 1 or row 2 to calculate your amounts for. All right. And here's the table so you can, our journal, so you can properly execute your amounts on and do your calculations. Okay. So there, I was nice there. And then, of course, more journals in case you need it. All right. Question number 30. As you can see, you have a periodic inventory. All right. I was so nice enough to give you a periodic inventory. All right. So that's question 30. And then now here is the section here. So this is the scratch word. So questions 31 through 50. This is where I was talking to you guys about specifically, this is going to be summing up everything you've learned. And this is wrapping up chapter 13. This is primarily going from your sequence, your accounting cycle from step 1 all the way to step 10. So questions 31 through 50, all right, here's it. Here's your little instructions here. Here's the little chart of accounts. This is to help you categorize your entries. Will you use every single account? Maybe. And that's where I'm going to be testing your knowledge on what are you going to properly enter your transactions and where are you going to properly locate them. All right, with that, here's your journal so you can journalize. So I gave you a couple pages there. And then, of course, with that being said, you're going to also be learning to post to the general ledger because one of your questions will be asking you what should be your amount in your checking account. So instead of only providing just the ledger for checking, I provided you for every single one so you can practice how to complete the journal, post it to the ledger. So there you go. I have every single account on here. And if I miss a count, I have an empty one for you as well. Okay? I have a blank one for you. And then with that being said, you need to know your unadjusted trial balance. So again, we've done many trial balances, but remember, this one happens at the very end of the term. So in this case, I believe it is 1 month. So you will be completing the unadjusted trial balance, and rule is your debits must equal your credits. Okay. So again, here's for your adjustments. All right. You need to journalize it here. And then I'm going to test you again on a depreciation. And here you go. I gave it to you. It's straight line. Easy. Okay. So then once we've done that, then you're going to complete your financial statement. So again, I even gave the sub little headings to kind of gear you towards the correct answer. So with this, all right, so you need to know what you need to place here to get your gross profit. You need your operating expense and other income, all right? So I provided that detail for you, and all you have to do is fill it out. And then, of course, you got to do your statement of equity, and again, your balance sheet. I even labeled it out here, your assets, your liabilities, and your equity. All right? And then lastly, you got your closing portion. So this is where you can close out your journals, right? So you could properly indicate everything in your income summary. So that is your exam right there in the span of 10 minutes that I just told you, okay? So this is exactly what you're expected to know, and this is exactly what you're going to be learning, okay? Now, obviously, this, spreadsheet, it starts on 2, 3, and then it skips all the way to 14. So you can expect at least those ones to either be a a chapter 2 or chapter 4, right? Knowing gap or knowing how to categorize or determine the type / normal balance. So that's going to also be on the exam. But other than that, I made it straightforward for you guys. And you know what I even did for you guys? I even threw a third attempt in case the first one was just too much for you guys, okay? Because again, this is a lot of work and this is exactly what I expect you to know. So again, utilize all 3 attempts, all right? Unless you're satisfied with whatever you got for the first time, all right? Let me know so then I'd be able to either help you or I can also grade your first attempt and then you guys can go for the second one, all right? And if you guys have any questions, again, you have my phone number and you have all week to complete it. You have until Wednesday because I was that nice. I even gave you Wednesday as well. So I gave you Sunday all the way. No, wait, actually, I think it's only Sunday through Tuesday. Sunday through Tuesday, 3 whole days to complete the exam. Wednesday's your day off. Thursday, come back to class to review. So all of this is all here. Any questions on anything you have for anything in this class that we've learned?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, we have those worksheets, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to fill all of those out, and then is there like a A, B, C, D, or are we going to be
Correct.
filling in?
Everything's
Okay,
multiple choice, so you will have a answer.
okay,
Okay, so if you get the wrong answer, you know what to do. You have to go back and try it again. And I've provided both Word documents so you can enter it in right away. If you're more of a person that likes to write everything, provide a PDF. And for those who are my experts at Excel, I even provided the Excel worksheet for you guys as well.
Does that include the formula there?
No formulas, it's just pure blank. No, you guys should be able to know that. Okay?
I have my fingers crossed on that.
All right. No
okay.
formulas. No formulas.
I'll call you, kiddo.
Yes, and I did not say you cannot collaborate either. So, I mean, feel free if you want to do a group, if you want to group it all together, be my guest. But just know that this exam, I'm telling you right now, it's expected to be more than 4 hours for sure, especially with the last 20 questions.
Just doing that. I had mine one whole day.
So just make sure you know that with Orbund, you don't want to stay idle for a question for too long. So make sure you flip back and forth, either go skip the question and go back to it, just so then you answer all the ones that you know. So obviously the first 30 questions will be something you'll know. And then the last 20 questions are going to be applied knowledge. All right. Any other questions here? So again, yes, so Mia, it's all multiple choice. I'm providing the scratch work for you so you don't have to draw the table out or anything like that. It's formatted already for you. All you got to do is either print it out, open up the document, type in, so you can save a little extra time there. Okay? All right. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
I have a question,
Go ahead.
and this has to do with the trial balance. Okay, I know the trial balance, and then we have the unadjusted trial balance.
Mm-hmm.
But what throws me off when it says unadjusted, because we do the adjustments, and then it's done. We have an adjusted trial balance. It's trial balance, unadjusted trial balance, which we put the adjustments, and then we do another a post closing trial balance.
That's correct. So you have a total of 3 or maybe even 4 trial balances that you have to complete. Now, in this specific coffee cafe, instead of waiting till the very end of the month, I want you to make sure to ensure the accounting, your accuracy of your accounting, to do it every week, because that will save you a lot of time in case you mess up or fumble somewhere in the journal or the ledger. So then you can find your discrepancy a lot quicker. Okay? And once you complete and it's balanced, then you can go ahead and move on with the next one. All right? So that's what the whole point of a trial balance is. Now, in Coffee Cafe, I made you do it every week because I want to make sure that you don't fumble in between, because we are beginners. The unadjusted trial balance will always be at the end of the period, before you make your adjustments. That's why it's unadjusted, right? And then you got to make your adjustments for the end of the period. So the difference between the unadjusted and the adjusted trial balance is literally your adjustments. And we want to make sure that when you make your adjustments, that you did it correctly. So the unadjusted, right, is pretty much summing up your end of the period. Your adjustments come next, then your adjusted trial balance to just ensure that you did your adjustments correctly. And then again, we do the post-closing trial balance to make sure that everything you did in between, whether you calculated the amounts correctly, whether you made your adjustments or your depreciation expense, or not, sorry, your accumulated depreciation, all of those accounts, making sure that you correctly made all those adjustments. Okay? So that's all those trial balance actually just do. They just test to make sure that your numbers match and that they're equal at all times. Okay? I know it's tedious, but again, we're beginners, right? You should practice this because, one, it's part of the accounting cycle, but two, it's just so then it prevents you from having fraud, because you can make any adjustments and they may not match up, because you could be like, well, I'm going to write off 100% off my bad debt. Would anybody know that? They will know if they look at it carefully, but if it doesn't match anything in your journal, then there you go. You have a red flag right there. So that's what the trial balance is for. It's just to ensure the accuracy of your accounting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So in this case, I only am going to test you on the unadjusted trial balance. All right? Because the scenario, we don't have that many transactions, because like I said, I believe it's the first 9 or 10 questions is going to be you journalizing. Okay, so that means your unadjusted trial balance should be fairly short. All right. Any other questions in regards to the exam? All right. Okay, so again, I'll post the link. The exam is already up. Well, I meant it's posted, and it will be up at 8 o'clock on Sunday, and it will be done on Tuesday at midnight. So make sure you do it accordingly, whether you do it Monday, Sunday, or whatever. And make sure that on Monday and Tuesday, at least Monday and Tuesday, go ahead and write a message in the Google Classroom, just so then I can account the attendance for you. And tomorrow is going to be our review on anything and everything that you want in the class, if you don't have questions right now. But if you don't, then you guys are free to go.